Hello, Susan. Can you hear me? Okay, everything is good. Now, we're going to be working from the stick control book today, and I'm doing one surface. And tonight I'm going to be doing a drum set application. What I'm going to be doing, I should warm up a little bit. I just did a 3-hour session, so it should be pretty loose. We're going to go to page, hold on. Page 8. So get your stick control book, get on page 8. Now, as far as the video is concerned, on Sunday with Carl, when you guys get here, I'll explain to you what happened with that. I'm not allowed to put it on the computer, is what it amounts to. And that's because of the little confrontation we had the other day. Now, who else is in here? It's just you and I, Susan? You have the stick control book. We are on page 8. Now, there's a few different things that we're going to do with this. And we're going to play this at different sticking heights. The first, how you doing, Ross? The first sticking height is going to be a full stroke. Ross, we're in the stick control book, page 8. Okay. The first thing we're going to do, you get your full stroke together. Alright, now this is a combination exercise, and it has to do with eighth notes and eighth note triplets. So it's a little kind of, it feels different when you're playing the eighth notes and you're playing the eighth note triplets. So what we're doing, and I'm going to count, I'm going to do it real slow, and I'm going to do it in the full stroke position, which is a free stroke. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now that wasn't in tempo. So I'm going to put the metronome on 60. That's my quarter note pulse. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Don't play the line. Now what I want you to pay attention to is the sticking heights. Before I make another stroke, my sticks are back in the same position. And this is more like a loosening up exercise, saying hello to your sticks, and is the right stick and the left stick sounding the same? I'm not getting this. I'm not getting 1. That's a no-no. What we want to do is make the right side and the left side sound the same. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm thinking of that in eighth notes and eighth note triplets. I'm counting eighth notes as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The eighth note triplets, I count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're accustomed to counting triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. That's okay. You're not incorrect. I don't use that method. I use 1 enda, 2 enda, 3 enda, 4 enda, and occasionally what I will do, is subdivide the triplets as, instead of 1 enda, 2 enda, I'll count it as 1, 2, 3 for subdivisional purposes. Example, if I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, watch, now I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 3 and an laugh. 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta. I just demonstrated, how you doing, Renzo? I just demonstrated 4 different ways to count the 8th note triplet. Now, whatever works for you is fine. Okay? So, I'm going to be counting it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to turn the metronome on. Renzo, we're in Stick Control Book, page 8, line 1. The combination exercises, 8th notes and 8th note triplets, and I'm going to do it at 60. That's my pulse. In a high, sticking height into full strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now that's at 60. If I did line 2, which is a great line for you righties, you know, most drum, hold on. Most right-handed drummers, most drummers are right-handed, and they have a problem with the left-hand lead. So if that's, their left hand is much weaker because they're right-handed than the left, they're going to give me 1, 2, 3. Oh. Let me disconnect the phone. Hold on a second, gentlemen. People.
Please leave a message after the tone. Hello, Tina. This is Aunt Margaret. Can you please call me at 908-651-5950? I would like to hear from you, Tina. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh. The phone don't ring all day until I'm streaming. Sorry. Anyway, what you want to do on line 2, it addresses the weaker side if you're right-handed. So I'm going to do line 2, which starts now with a left-hand lead, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and do that with a metronome. Now hang out with that for a while, adjusting what is weak and making it equal. So I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now by doing it slow, it gives you an opportunity to see which hand needs the most work. In this case, because I'm right-handed, obviously my left hand seems to need more of the work. So I would hang out more so, for example, with line 2. Let's say hypothetically I did line 2 100 times. I don't count, but let's say I do. What I would recommend you doing, do line 1 now 50 times, so both become balanced, both become equal. Do we all agree with that, everyone? Okay. Now that takes care of line 1 and line 2 of page 8. We're going to go over to page 9. Now, page 9, you're introduced to a 4-measure increment on line 1. Now, I'm going to play line 1 without the metronome first. Well, I'll use the metronome. Let me play line 1, then I'll explain it a little bit better. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and the 4, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what I just did, I read what was there, and he tags on, and the last measure, just a line or a run of eighth note triplets. Now I'll do that at that tempo, oh, I don't know for how long, until I feel like, no, I had enough. Then I'm going to up the tempo. So from 60, let's say I've been practicing for a few hours, and I'm going to go, say, now to 150, or 160 rather. Now I'm going to put the metronome on 160, and I'm going to play that line as written with the eighth note triplets on the end. Now my hand position is going to change. I can still play at full strokes if I want, but man, that's working. And you know, I'm not going to display my work ethic. You know, like 1, 2. What you want to do is bring the sticks down into a different position, say the half stroke. But now notice my sticks. Both my sticks are going to be coming, before I make the next stroke, my stick is back into position. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to do the line. I'm going to tag on that last measure of triplets. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I'll do that to my left side as well. Now, we're going to add to this measure, to this exercise. The first line is being presented with a one measure, an additional measure of triplets. That's the fourth measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the line as written. In addition to playing the line as written, I'm going to put on the end of that measure a 4-measure vamp. Now, you know the vamp says 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 4 measures right, 4 measures left. But we're not going to use that as the vamp. What we're going to use is that last measure as the vamp. For example, I'm going to play the line 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Last measure 1, 2, 3, 4 and Now I'm stopping there. Because now we're not going to go back to the beginning. We're going to add 4 additional measures, okay, of the vamp, of the eighth note triplet alternating sticking. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, back, 1 to the measure. I'm going to play that with the 4-measure vamp at. It's at 1, all right, let me put it on 160 again. That's my pulse. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to play the line, and I'm going to play it with the 4-measure vamp. One, 2, vamp. 2, 3, 4, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Do we all understand that? Any questions on that concept or approach? Yes or no? Y for yes, N for no. You don't understand it, Renzo? No, you don't understand it. Okay, all right. We're going to bring it back. Not a problem. I'm going to play the line. Oh. Okay. We understand it. All right, so that we're going to tag the 4-measure vamp on that. Now, you can do line 2, which I highly recommend more than the first line. Because, you know, you want to strengthen that weak hand, the attack on the left side, if you're right-handed. If you're right-handed, you want to attack the left-handed side. Now, when I was studying with Joe Morello, way back then there was no such thing as a digital metronome. Okay, so I had the Franz metronome, which had the little light on the top. It had a dial with all the different metronomic markings. And this one particular mark, the metronome would only go up to 208. So I would practice this and practice this and practice this until I got it smoothly at 208. And I thought I was a hot shot. I said, now, all right, what's next? No, that's only the beginning. Now, I demonstrated this, first off, at 60. Then I went to 160. Here's the approach that you're going to take once you get it up. Let's say you're practicing it, you got it going on at 160. Not a problem. That's good. Make sure that the right hand and the left hand are equalized and you're working hard. Now, what I want to do is go back. If we did 160, we're going to take half of that, which would be 80. And now, the same exercise is going to be, but the thought process is going to be different. I'm going to demonstrate this one at on page 8, the first line. So go back to page 8, the first line. You have written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to think about that differently. Instead of thinking 1 and 2 and, we're going to think of 1 E and Now we hit the triplet, which would be written 2 and 3 and 4 and Now we're going to think of the triplet a few different ways. Again, it's the matter of counting. I like to think of it and feel it, 3 and. So I have the 2 triplets. But you can go 3 triplet and triplet 1, 1 E and 3 triplet and triplet 1. Okay, let me put the metronome. I'm going to take it down to 80. I'm very, very disorganized today. I just had an issue I had to resolve, which wasn't very pleasant. So bear with me. I'm skipping around like a crazy man. Anyway, we're going to take line 8. We're not going to play it now as up to like 150 or 200, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1. We're going to think of it like this. Line 8, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's going to be 1 E and 2 and. But I extend that, I consolidate that to be one measure. So I think of the measure now in 4/4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. Everyone understand that? How I'm thinking of it? Instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm thinking 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. The same amount of strokes are in there, right? But I'm thinking of it in a different way. Do we understand that? You understand that, Susan? Renzo, Ross, and whoever else is here? Okay. Now I'm going to go to 60. Now, it's half the pulse. Here's my quarter note. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm playing 16ths in 16th note triplets. Here we go. 4, 1 E and the up the tempo somewhat. I guess this would be good. It's at 100, so if I did this 1 and 2 and 3 and the 4 and the, that would be 200. Now I'm going to 100. Here we go. That's 1, 2. I'm doing 16. 3, 4, 1 E. 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and again the left side. Okay, come on, metronome. And you do the left side. Do you all understand? 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and 1. Now you take that as far as you'd like on the metronome without hurting yourself. You know, when I say hurting yourself, I don't mean break a leg. I mean muscle-wise, you don't want to exert your muscles that you're using. And you don't want to strain them or you create any kind of tension. Well, you don't want any physical kind of harm through the drumsticks. It's total relaxation. I let the drumstick do what it's supposed to do. That's the object, right, inside of that tempo. Now let's go back to page 9. Now I'm going to play again page 9 the way I presented it with the 4 measures of the triplet in the back. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. That's what's presented. Now I'm going to drop the metronome. I'm going to put the metronome now on 60 again. And now we're going to think of it now as 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4. So you're playing the same thing, but you're thinking about it differently. That's the objective. It's 1 E and the 2, 3. Now we go 4. 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and 1 E and the 2 and 3 E. I'll count it out loud. 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and. Let me up the tempo somewhat. Okay, now I'm thinking 1 E and the 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna. It's hard to count that fast. I more or less feel it inside of there. 1. Okay, we understand that. We're only going to be working on the left-hand side, line 1 and line 2 of the stick control book. That's page 8. And then we're going to go to page 9. I'm going to work with line 1 and line 2. Now, I demonstrated it to you before as 1 and 2 and 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4, pop. And I demonstrated it this way as well. 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and. Actually, the last measure would be 1 E and the 2 and 3, 4, 1. Okay, so now I dropped the metronome on 108, and I'm going to play just the measure, the line as written. And I'm going to tag the vamp on it. Two, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. 3, 4, 4, 2. And go back to the line. Now here's where an endurance exercise comes into view. And I'm going to take it back to this guy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it seems to be a better way to explain it and to understand it. Okay? So what I'm doing here now is I usually have a timer set for say 4 minutes. And I'll play the line with the vamp for a minute while the timer is going on. When it hits the 3-minute mark, when it hits the 3-minute mark, I extend the vamp to when the timer goes off. What I mean by that is this. Let me put the tempo up. $160. Play the line as it is. Then I'm going to tag the vamp. 1, 2. Vamp. Now vamp. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Back. Now, what I'm going to do, that was playing the line as is. I'm going to put the vamp on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, back. Vamp. 2, 3, 4, back, so on and so forth. Now, what I'm going to say, this is not a very fast tempo. Like I said with the timer, I set the timer, say, for 4 minutes, and I'll play that with the vamp for a minute. Okay? Now, my minute's up. No vamp. I'm just going to extend the triplets now for 3 minutes. 1, 2, until the metronome goes off. That's developing endurance with your hands. Now, the same process occurs when you're thinking of it as 1E and the 2 and 3E and the 4 and you're going to do that for 3, 4 minutes. And that's tough. It's going to seem like 3 minutes is an eternity. I'm going to bring the metronome down to, say, 120. There you go. And I'm going to play it, and I'm going to extend the vamp. Here you go. Here you go. And I'll play extending the vamp for 3 minutes. Now, if ever you would think 3 minutes will seem like an eternity, I would not play it that fast for a while. I'd slow it down and hang out with that, say, that particular method, that particular concept as 1E and the 2 and, okay? Say about maybe 90 or 80, whatever you feel comfortable with, and extend that vamp for 3 minutes. Once the 3 minutes is over with, stop, let the blood circulate again in your hands or whatever, and relax. That will develop endurance. Now, the endurance exercise for 3 minutes, I do that with mostly everything. Example, the paradiddle. I'll sit there and play a paradiddle, like so, at a variety of tempos, and I'll play the paradiddle for 3 minutes. And 3 minutes is a long, long time. It don't sound like it's a long time. 3 minutes, piece of cake. But when you're playing something like I just did, the single strokes or the paradiddles or the doubles or whatever it might be, okay, for 3 minutes, like I said, 3 minutes is going to sound or seem like a long, long time, an eternity. Okay, Renzo. Hey, Renzo. This is only going to remain, these free lessons, up to the 15th of this month. Are you going to sign up on my page for Monday in the afternoon and Monday in the evening, Wednesday in the afternoon and Wednesday in the evening? Are you going to do that? Because I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of free lessons anymore. What I'm going to be doing, occasionally, very, very rarely, I will put up a YouTube video. I will do a live broadcast on YouTube. So if you want to sign up, it's very inexpensive. I'll give you my website number. So feel free to come and sign up on my website, please, if you'd like, because I'm giving this up every Monday and Wednesday for free. And like I said, very rarely will I be doing a YouTube broadcast. Okay, is there any questions on what I've taken today? If so, please speak up. Knocky knock. And by the way, everyone, tonight we're going to be working with a four-way coordination concept. All you need would be, all you would need is a stick control book. So Renzo, are you gonna sign up? Yes or no? Because I'm about to close up now. Any questions? If not, I'll see everyone this evening. Okay. Thank you, Renzo. All right, there's no questions. You too, Renzo. You have a good day. And we'll see everyone this evening, 8:30 p.m. Not if I see you first, Susan. You're welcome, everybody. Okay, so everybody have a good rest of the day, and we'll see everybody at 8:30. No problem.